Hey, what's going down, Ken Folk? It's your boy Screwface Capone in the house, and welcome to the Xbox Game Showcase post-game show. The game footage you're obviously seeing has nothing to do with what I'm going to talk about, so if you're doing something, maybe you're cleaning, maybe you're cooking, maybe you're studying, maybe you're working, you just have this playing in the background. This is just a visual element. This is going to be like all me talking. I'm just basically coming off the dome, stream of conscience. Raw, uncut, and unedited. I did a few takes before this, just to make sure I got in everything, but yeah, this is just gonna be me talking. So overall, I thought that the game show was pretty good. It's definitely better than the PlayStation game show, I'll tell you that. It didn't go the way that I thought it was gonna be. It sounded like they were gonna be like 90 minutes of the actual showcase, followed by 30 minutes of Starfield, but it actually ended up being an hour-long showcase plus an hour long of Starfield. But still, it was fine. Now, as far as first-party stuff, we finally got our first look at Fable. Like they said, they're showing all in-game cinema. It was either all gameplay footage or in-game cinematics, or a mixture of both. So we got what it looks like, what the gameplay will look like, just your hack and slash stuff. And we met a character who's played by Richard Iodine. And I'm not sure that's how you pronounce his name, but you get the idea. He was in the Garth Marenghi shows that were on Adult Swim way back when. He was on the IT Crowd, so he brought a pretty funny twist to it. So he ended up playing a giant type character, and it looks like your player character is going to have to fight him. So, it's good to see Fable. Of course, we don't have a release date, so I'm not really expecting it in the near future. If I had to guess, like, maybe sometime in 2025, like, we'll learn more about the game throughout the next year or so. We'll have a big showcase in 2024 about it, and then they'll announce a 2025 release date. And again, that's me speculating. We also saw Avowed, the endgame stuff, for the very first time. It's an RPG. It's like in the vein of Elder Scrolls. It showed a little stuff about the game's plot and the game's combat. So you'll be using weapons and magic, of course. So it's going to be out in 2024. So it'll probably be like next year's big game, kind of like how Starfield is this year's big game, so I can't wait to see how this turns out. Obsidian is a big RPG developer, so like I keep saying, like the Xbox platform is going to be the place to be for RPG games. So we got Avowed coming out, we got Fable coming out, we got Starfield coming out later this year, and we had like Gears Tactics a few years ago. So there's a lot. So if you like RPGs, I have a feeling that the Xbox Game Pass, the whole Xbox platform, is the place to be. And of course, you got Elder Scrolls 6 coming out sometime in the near future. We also saw footage from Hellblade: Senua's Saga. Now, while we don't have a release date, again, that's set for 2024. In the gameplay footage that they showed off, it was captured on an actual Xbox console. So that's a good thing. And as far as I'll get to the new stuff in a second, but Forza Motorsport, they showed off some of that, and it has a release date of October 10th. So if you like racing and you got an Xbox, this is going to be a pretty good year for you guys. We saw more stuff on Starfield, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But as far as newer stuff, we saw Microsoft similar to 2024, so it's going to be like a new entry in the series, and it's going to be like new career focus. You're going to have stuff like firefighting, search and rescue, cargo delivery, crop dusting. So they're going to add in. So it looks like they're going to add in a bit more gameplay to it. So that sounds pretty cool, because it was pretty fun, like flying around with the planes currently in Microsoft Flight Sim. So if you have those graphics and have that selection of planes with all these extra careers and other options, then Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is going to be a low-key hit. And speaking of Flight Sim, we saw a new Dune-themed expansion that's coming to it. So if you like Dune and you got Flight Sim, the current one, then you're going to want... that's something to look forward to. And that's going to be dropping in November. So both In Exile and Compulsion Games showed off their first games that they're working on since being acquired by Microsoft. In Exile showed off a first-person shooter RPG hybrid called Clockwork Revolution, and I'm definitely getting Bioshock vibes from it. It's got this steampunk atmosphere, and it's got like what looks like time travel and time manipulation mechanics. So it definitely looks interesting. I know In Exile is usually known for like role-playing games and strategy titles, so it's going to be interesting to see how they handle a first-person shooter type game. Now, of course, there's no release date. They said that was going to be in due time, according to the trailer. You know, pun intended, obviously. Of course, that is to be expected. So if I had to make a guess, I would probably say like late 2025 or early 2026. Who knows how far they're along in their development. But at the very least, there's a lot of stuff to keep you tied over until then. And to Compulsion Games, they showed off a new game called South of Midnight. That was the big Project Midnight that was being rumored, and it looks like it's going to be a whole Southern Gothic fantasy game, like the rumors stated. So it was just an announced trailer with in-game footage, like nothing much in the way of gameplay. I don't think it was. But it looks like it takes place in the American South, the Bayou, and it looks like the main character is a black woman, so black women for the win. So again, no release date was given, so it's going to be a little ways out, but we got plenty to tide us over, like I keep saying. And to their live service games, they showed off a Monkey Island crossover for Sea of Thieves, which is going to be a new story campaign. So I think this would definitely be a great fit for Sea of Thieves. They're working with LucasArts to make it, so they're gonna have the voice actors for characters like Guybrush and Stan S. Salesman. I don't really play Sea of Thieves because I'm not really into online multiplayer co-op stuff, but I might have to check it out because I hear a lot of good things about it. And of course, they showed off updates for both Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online. Again, I'm not really into either of those games, but again, this is one of those things where I hear all sorts of good things about it, so I might just check them out at least once. Well, yeah, back to Xbox exclusive stuff, at least Xbox platform exclusive. You know, it already is going to include like PC and Steam and stuff. They announced a game called Towerborn, which looks like an action RPG game that's made by Stoic Studio, who made the Banner Saga franchise. So I'm definitely getting a Secret of Mana type vibe from it. It's a fantasy RPG. I just looked up some more information on it, and it looks like an RPG brawler. Kind of like those Dungeons and Dragons games from Capcom. Might not exactly be the fit, but it's going to feature like co-op gameplay. So it might. So I know it's not that big AAA style release that everybody wants, but if you like brawlers and you like co-op, then you might get a little kick out of it. I definitely like the art style. It definitely looks like something I want to check out. Now, third-party publishers and developers really came to show out. One of the first games that was seen at the showcase was Star Wars. What was it called? Star Wars Outlaws, which is the new game from Ubisoft and Massive Entertainment. So it looks like an open world game. It looks like it's going to take place like more throughout the Star Wars underground, like the hive of scum and villainy. So they talk about the Syndicate and the criminal underworld. So we'll learn more about that at the Ubisoft showcase. So as excited as I am about this, I kind of have my feelings about Ubisoft. So who knows if I'll I might take a look at it, but I'm not sure about giving money to Ubisoft. But anyway, moving on. There was a developer Thunderlow that showed off a new indie game called 33 Immortals. It looks like it's got an art style similar to the game Hades, but it's got 33 player co-op. So it's definitely an odd design direction, but again, it's something intriguing. It looks like it's going to be like an action RPG with like, it looks like it has like, I don't know, roguelike elements or something like that. But if you like co-op games, then you can play up to 33 of your friends, I guess. And what else? Like I said, I'm doing this like raw and uncut. I'm only pausing when I need to catch my breath and stuff. But they showed off Payday 3, and it's coming out September 21st. And what else? And they showed off Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth. So this is the next game in the Yakuza series. They renamed it Like a Dragon. So officially, this is Yakuza. This would have been Yakuza 8, but now it's called Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth. So the gameplay trailer showed Ichiban Kasuga waking up on a beach. And it looks like he might be somewhere, and from the looks of it, he might be in the United States. There were some people there speaking English, and it looked like people who weren't Japanese. So having a Yakuza game that takes place somewhere in America, that definitely seems a bit interesting, like an interesting turn for it. So I got to keep playing through Yakuza 7, and I know there's some more Yakuza games that are coming out too. There's the spin-off with Kazuma, the man who erased his name, and the other one that takes place in feudal Japan. I can't remember at the top of my head. But Capcom, they show off a brand new title called Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess. It looks like a hack and slash game where they're going to be taking on demons and stuff. Like, the trailer definitely looked different. Like, at first I thought it was going to be a new Onimusha game. But you saw like a lot of hacking and slashing. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Wolong, but in feudal Japan. So I think that's coming to Game Pass too. So yeah, Capcom's been on a roll lately. The Resident Evil 4 remake, Street Fighter 6, and they got Exo Primal coming out later this year. So I definitely want to check this game out. What else? Of course, we know about the Persona 5 Tactica and Persona 5. The Persona 3 remake. What else? There was also a game called Dungeons of Hindenburg. This is an indie game, and it looks like it's a modern day fantasy blend of exploration and dungeon crawling. So it's definitely got a unique look to it. If you like dungeon crawlers, then this is something that will appeal to you. I definitely like its setting too. I know its art style won't gel for a lot of people, but it definitely looks interesting. There's Jasant, which is a climbing game. There's the horror game Still Wakes the Deep. And did I miss anything? No, I'm looking at a page which shows everything. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything they showed off. And like all of this third-party stuff, except for maybe Star Wars Outlaws, is all coming to Game Pass. And I'm not sure. Yeah, I think the Capcom game is coming to Game Pass too. But yeah, so it's either all going to be exclusive to. It was either Xbox and PC exclusive, or it's going to be coming to Game Pass on day one. And there's another. Oh yeah, and the developers behind the Persona games, they showed off a new RPG called Metaphor Re-Fantaso. Well, I'm gonna just call it Metaphor. But it's definitely got that weird Persona look and Japanese RPG feel. So if you're into JRPGs and you like Persona or the Shin Megami Tensei games, then of course you probably got this on your radar when it hits next year. And of course they showed off Cities Skylines 2, and of course the Phantom Liberty expansion for Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, I was able to get the original Cyberpunk 2077 recently at a discount. So I'm going to go in and play that game eventually and check it out. So yeah, obviously everything that was shown that was third party, except for the Star Wars game, and obviously the Phantom Liberty, is going to be coming to Day Pass. So if it's not Xbox and PC exclusive, then it's coming to Game Pass on day one. So you're getting most of this stuff for free. So really, how can you complain technically? Well, technically it is free until you take it off the service, but you get what I'm talking about. Now, as far as stuff that was missing, I'm surprised that they didn't show anything for Halo Infinite. They kept talking about, you would have think they would have showed off what was next for Infinite. But I guess if they are working on something, then they will probably show it off at some other showing. And missing in action, of course, was Contraband from Avalanche Studios. There was also State of Decay 3 and what was the other one? Perfect Dark. Now, with those three games, like with Contraband, like we haven't seen anything since its announcement, and we've heard about like developer turmoil with both the Perfect Dark and the State of Decay 3. So it could be a case of them not really having anything ready yet. I know a lot of people are disappointed not to see those two games, but you know, if they didn't have anything ready, then they didn't have anything ready. I think we'll probably see more about them as the months go forward. Maybe at the Game Awards later this year, or maybe at next year's showcase. But yeah, those were that kind of stuff. But yeah, those were missing in action, and I know a lot of people were looking forward to those. And of course, there was other stuff that people were hoping to see, but wasn't really officially announced or confirmed. So, you know, like Gear 6. There were rumors about Scalebound, and there were rumors about Killer Instinct 2 or whatever. Obviously, no point complaining about what they didn't say, what they didn't mention, or what they didn't promise. So we all got our whole fantasies about what we wanted to see and what we were hoping to see or whatnot. But like, no point complaining about stuff that they never stated. Alright, so going on to Starfield stuff, like I wasn't really sold on the game. But like seeing the whole 1 hour showcase in action, it kind of made me like feel a bit more excited about it. Now, one of my big concerns about it, besides like the bugs and things like that, because we all know how buggy like Bethesda's games tend to get. But like one of the big concerns I had was them committing the cardinal sin of open world gaming. And that's basically just having big, wide, empty open worlds just for the sake of having these big, wide, empty overworlds. Especially when you add in the fact that they're featuring like procedurally generated planets. So that's my main concern. But other than that though, I was really excited about like seeing the character generation, seeing the combat in action, seeing all the customization. Like being able to customize outposts, being able to customize your spaceships. It looks like I'm going to be spending a lot of time just really tricking out my stuff, like really pimping my spaceship, setting up my outposts, and just really like, I don't want to say like it's exactly like Forza, but like I'm going to be spending a lot of time just building and customizing stuff. So of course it's going to come down to the gameplay and the storyline. And again, like how these elements are going to gel together. But like I'm definitely more and more excited about the game than what I was. And of course, it is coming to Game Pass. But they showed off that, I guess it's a collector's edition. I might just splurge for that. Because I really like that little design. But yeah, definitely, like if you weren't sold on Starfield, if you were on the fence, and I think after seeing that in action, then I think they definitely did a great job of selling you on it. Now we just got to see if they can make sure that the gameplay is gelling. If they can deliver with the actual game experience and with the gameplay. Like one of my favorite games of all time is The Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and one of the things I like about it is like being able to like explore and just find stuff like without even really actively looking for it. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean. Like shortly after I started the game, like I came across this cave full of people who were using conjuring spells. Like I wasn't on a mission. I was just trying to make my way to like this was like right after I exited the dungeon. I was trying to make my way to Gavach. I just came across this cave randomly. I never had to visit it for any mission, but there were a group of conjurers in there who attacked me by summoning creatures. I just went in, killed them, and took their stuff and sold it myself. And I even set up my little home base in there. So, just stuff like that. If Starfield can capture that feeling, then I think Bethesda is going to have a really great experience on their hands. Like, really giving players the Elder Scrolls Oblivion up in space. That's what I want, and it looks like that's what they're going to deliver. Alright, so, yeah, that's pretty much it for the Xbox Game Showcase post-game. I'm past the 20-minute mark. So, yeah, if you want to see the whole stream of all my reactions, then of course my video is up on YouTube Live. I think I just put it up in the description. Well, that's if you're watching on YouTube. I'm planning to upload this as a podcast too, as soon as I find a new service to migrate to. But if you can do me a solid and hit that big red subscribe button and click the little bell icon, that way you'll be the first to know whenever I put out new content. Because normally I don't do stuff like this. I like to focus more on retro titles, indie games that are coming out, and also cool pieces of gaming related tech. So if that sounds good to you, then again, like and subscribe. Like, subscribe, and comment. Matter of fact, let me know what you thought about the showcase. Anything that they put out that you're looking forward to. But yeah, anyway, have a great rest of your day, and I'm outie 51,000G, Ken folk.